Maavybooks, getting started with Salesbook. Salesbook and Maavybooks make it really easy to manage sales transactions without requirement of passing multiple entries unlike other solutions. You just have to create an invoice and Maavybooks Salesbook does rest for you. To visit Salesbook in Maavybooks, you can click on Sales on Dashboard. You can also navigate to Salesbook using the sidebar. You can see a chart showing summary of all your sales transactions including cash, bank and credit sales in top of Salesbook. To record your first sales transaction in Salesbook and create sales invoice, visit Create Sales section of Salesbook. Transaction number is the unique number generated by Maavybooks for your every transaction. This makes it easy to record, view, edit, and delete transactions in Maavybooks. Then enter the date of transaction. You can also choose to enter the bill maturity date. By default, the bill maturity date is same as the transaction date. Then enter voucher number and customer details including customer name, phone, customer email, and GSTIN. The customer details are printed on invoice along with the business details of the invoice creator. When entering customer details, you can also take help of customer suggestion box that appears on the screen. In case you don't want to use suggestions, you can click on close button to close the customer suggestion box. Although adding customer details are optional, but in case of credit transaction, you have to mandatorily enter the name of customer. You can also validate the GSTIN details and validity by visiting the official government portal for GST using validate GSTIN option. Then select the type of transaction, select cash for cash sales, bank for bank sales, and also select the bank account being affected by the sales. In case the bank is not shown in bank select box, you can create bank ledger by visiting to add bank section of bank book. For credit transactions, select type as credit and also enter the customer's name. After entering above data, you are all set to add products to your sales invoice. Recheck if all the data entered by you is correct and then click on Add Products button to add products to your sales invoice. Although you can edit it later, but checking it at time of entry is a good practice. You can add multiple products in the invoice. On top of the product adding page, you can see the list and details of products added in the product list. To add a new product, visit Add Product section. Here start by entering product code, product HSN code, product name, rate, quantity, details, discount percent, SGST percent, CGST percent, and IGST percent. All the amounts are automatically calculated by the solution. You can also select to choose the product details from product list. A product suggestion box appears when you start entering product name. In case you don't want to use the product suggestions, you can close the product suggestion box by clicking on the close button on product suggestion box. After entering data, recheck if all the details are correct, then click on Add Product button to add product in sales invoice. You can see your added products on top of the product adding page of invoice. Similarly, you can add other products as well. On the bottom is the final section of the sales invoice. Here you can see the total of the products added. You can also add other expenses, shipping charges, and subtract other deductions. Subtotal is the final invoice amount to be received. In particular section, you can enter the details related to the transaction. Then recheck if all the data entered by you is correct and then click on Submit button to create invoice. Although the data can be edited later, but it is a good practice to check it at time of initial entry. If all details are filled correctly, you will be redirected to the sales invoice page. Here you can either print your sales invoice or send it to others using Share ID. Share ID is a unique feature of Maavybooks that enables fast transferring and recording of transactions without much efforts. It will be shared as purchase for other person's business account and will be shown under purchase book received. You just need your share ID and share the sales invoice instantly. Congrats, you have successfully created first sales invoice in Maavybooks Salesbook. You can now view your sales under the report section of Salesbook and use view button to view complete sales invoice. You can also use multiple filters for easy checking of data. You can view the history of your recorded sales transactions like date and time of transaction in history section of Salesbook. Also, you can view your sent sales note under sent sales note section of Salesbook. They will be recorded as purchase for others. And you can view all the sales notes received using Share ID under the Receive section of Salesbook. They were initially recorded at purchase in others' books. You can add the received transactions to your sales book by clicking on the Add button in Receipt section beside the transaction you want to add to your sales transactions. You just have to click the button and the transaction will be automatically added to your sales reports without any requirement of re-entering the complete same data. You can also check that if all the sent notes by you using share ID are being recorded by other individual or firms as their purchases. In the End of History section of Salesbook, all the sent sales notes being recorded and accepted by other parties as their purchase transactions will be seen here. This will make it easy to keep track of all your transactions with other individuals and firms. Editing sales transaction. Editing the sales transaction is also very simple in Maavybooks. Just go to Report section in Salesbook and click on Edit. You can see the pre-filled form with all your details. Change the details you want to edit and then click on Submit. You will be redirected to Sales Invoice page. You can again print this sales note or share it using Share ID. Deleting a sales transaction is again simple. Just go to Report section under Salesbook. Click on Delete button beside the transaction you want to delete. A dialog box appears. Click Yes if you want to delete this sales transaction. The transaction will be deleted from your sales reports. You can check history of your initial entries, updations, and deletions under the History section of Salesbook. Hope this tutorial helped you record and manage sales in Maavybooks Salesbook. Happy accounting journey!